ended up raining while the sun was out. And that
Precious.
that's the notebook.
Because I'm not dropping it low and spreading it wide for coffee.
Right.
All of our grandparents. But are we gonna put more with that mark in that prayer? What action are we gonna put in place?
I like Tilly's goal, but listen,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ladies POV. We're so happy to be here. This is a panel where four of us women, we get together and we discuss, some topics, some, current events and, other things that we all hit on. And of course, we give you our individual point of views. I am one of your hosts. My name is Devin, and we are also joined by Lucretia and Courtney. Whoa, how are you ladies today?
fantastic.
Peachy.
I must say, y'all look really, really beautiful. Like, this is so awesome.
As do you.
All this nice, beautiful melanin on the. Oh, I'm loving it. Is y'all's day going okay so far?
Yes, mine is. We've been redoing our bathroom right now. Yeah.
Yes.
I know that feeling.
I just had a photo shoot. I just finished doing makeup for a photo shoot, and I can't wait to share it with everybody. It's kind of secret. I can't tell you what it is, but I'll have those pictures up soon.
Awesome.
Want to see? I can't wait.
I just gotta see this. How about you, Lucretia? How's your day going?
Well, I was trying to show y'all my view. I don't know if y'all can see. It's dark now.
Nice.
I'm trying.
You have to turn the lights off, probably.
So.
No, it looks nice. Where are you?
I'm in Mexico.
Okay.
Mexico.
Ooh. Nice.
Let me try it one more time. I turned the lights off. Maybe a little more. I don't know.
Do that.
I'll send a picture later.
I'm so jealous.
I want to go to Mexico.
Anywhere. Well, ladies, I wanted to get into a little bit about this crime wave, a lot of the recent crimes and shootings that are going on right now in the Black neighborhoods, specifically Dallas. I'm hearing it even that, like people on my Instagram from other states are talking about no one wants to come to Dallas because of the recent crime raves in the Black neighborhood. Unfortunately, the most I know about it is like things that are on my timeline. And of course I have teenagers who know a little bit about it. But what are your ladies? What are your thoughts and opinions on this? Makes me sad, of course, but how do you feel about it? Ruth.
Okay, so I live in the burbs, so I really wasn't aware of the influx of the crime. But I did look up some things, and I don't know who was the other person that lives in Dallas. There was a serial killer, they want to say, that was going on a shooting spree. Did y'all see that?
No.
Yeah, supposedly this dude named Jeremy Harris. I think it's Jeremy Harris.
What?
Look, they just posted this. Hold on. Let me go back. On Friday, Dallas police announced they had charged Jeremy Harris, 31, from Red Oak, south of Dallas, with murder stemming from killing from October 31st and ended with the arrest on Wednesday in Salina on 4th murder charge. So if you're talking about an influx in shooting, maybe that he was a part of the problem. So apparently this one dude was going on a shooting spree, murdered 4 people, and they caught him on Wednesday. This started October 31st.
Oh, wow.
In November or earlier this month.
Wow.
Yeah, I had no idea. I'm living under a rock.
Yeah, I was only told about some of the like shootings like that were associated with like some of the rappers, and Lucretia knows a lot more about it, I think, than all of us do. And I have teenagers, but they just don't talk a lot, I guess about kind of what's going on. But Lucretia seems to have a lot more knowledge than all of us. What do you kind of think about all of this? It's scary. What do you think about all this that's going on?
I'm not gonna say I have a lot more knowledge. My teens talk about it a lot more, and then my teens listen to him. I know a couple of Mo's songs. Of course, I know some of Boosie songs. What I do know is that a lot of the places that the teenagers were going to hang out and stuff, nobody wants to go and socialize anymore. Even it wasn't even COVID that they're worried about. Now they're worried about going and getting shot. I know when we were young, we used to hang out. It wasn't worried about getting shot. Now they can't even go outside and listen to music. Side of the street that Mo lived on. I mean, it's getting bad. I think I think people outside of Texas are blowing it up more than the people here. It's dying down a little bit. Like I said, I don't know everything about it. I'm not going to insinuate that I do, but I just know that it never should have happened. The man was 28 years old and had 3 kids. There was no reason to shoot him. If you weren't selling as much as he was, take some rhyming classes. Find a ghostwriter, something. I mean, I don't see a point in killing anybody over a song.
Do you think part of the problem, like, since more people, I guess, are committing crimes, or do you think people are just getting antsy from being, partly jobless, partly in the house? I noticed that there was a lot of domestic issues now, not just with celebrities, not just with your higher end people, but regular folks are getting tired of each other. I mean, luckily for me, I didn't have that issue. It brought us closer together. But like for a lot of other people, like they can't stand their spouse. So it's like, you better get out of my face or I'm gonna cut you. And some people take that like literal. So maybe that's part of the problem. Like people are getting tired of each other. Don't know how to handle.
So I'm not from the area. I know I've said it like a million times, so I don't know too much about what's happening there. But to Rue's point, I think it's an amalgamation of things. I think people are antsy. I think people with mental health issues are probably definitely suffering from being at home during the pandemic. Domestic violence cases have gone up. So like, I think, I was good. I have to say I was good in the first couple of months. Being at home, like limited contact, not doing too much, not going anywhere. I'm gonna tell you, it's starting to break me. It's getting to me. I was on vacation from work this week. I didn't go anywhere. I still did my regular grocery store, laundromat, a photo shoot. Like, but I can tell you I feel antsy for sure. For sure.
I think in the that rap community, there's always been that thing about they rap a lot about shooting and drugs and getting money and whatever it takes. And I'm wondering if there is a little bit of I don't want to call it jealousy because they may not want to call it that. You know what I'm saying? But it's become everybody wants to take what everyone has, and maybe someone felt like they were a better rapper or better whatever than this person. They don't believe he deserves that status. They may be jealous of Boosie maybe because he doesn't, represent what they represent. I think there's a lot of that. And I don't know, that's almost become like a thing of normalcy. I don't know what needs to happen for that to be addressed and for that to be really, spoken about, because we are 4 women that are talking about this. But do you guys think that maybe if some of the larger named rappers got involved and started speaking about the crimes, among the Black community, things like that, that could help initiate the conversation. Maybe if they spoke about like mental health and how it's okay to talk to someone if you're feeling a certain way, or what we need to do to get out of the slum. I don't know. I'm wondering if they open the conversation, if maybe that could help.
I don't think it'll help. I don't, because there have been rappers in the past who have spoken about mental health and who have spoken about, getting help and talking to somebody, and they get clowned. They get clowned. So I mean, it's indicative of a larger issue in our community. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not gonna sit here and blame us for it, right? But it's kind of like that crabs in the barrel, but crabs don't belong in barrels syndrome type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, you're not free. There's a lot of different pressures coming from a whole bunch of different areas, and after a little while, you might crumble under pressure, and it people telling you to seek help, and see a mental health professional is not helpful if you don't have access to a mental health professional. You know what I mean? Like, so, or if you don't even have the tools to find out how to get access. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I agree partly with that. It's preached in, our communities that if you throw around mental health, that, oh, you're crazy, that's an issue. And it's like frowned upon, or it's like shunned or shamed in some kind of way, which it shouldn't be that way.
right.
Because we have technology now, we have education now that says that, hey, this is a thing. This is what we've been pretty much fighting to get out there, to say, hey, we can help this. It's all about helping ourselves get better. But if you don't want to acknowledge that, hey, this may be an issue, even though, just because you think it puts you in a box, then that's the first problem.
Right.
Like, there have been celebrities and rappers that have gone out there and actually preached about mental health and that preached about depression, and they get clowned. You soft, this, that, and the other. But then you also have the other side where there are people listening, and the younger generation doesn't want to listen. Us in our 30s, and we're taking that and we're trying to evolve and get better so that they realize that, okay, it's okay. There is ways to help yourself with this. But the younger people, they're like, no, I'm going to do this my way. You're just wrong. And it's sad to see that, because it's like the younger generation wants to preach and, talk about acceptance and empathy and that we all should just get along and this, that, and the other. But they're negating the fact that you have to identify that there is a problem first in order to fix it. I don't know. That's my feeling on it. So
I don't know. Ladies, do you have any other input on Lucretia? Sorry.
Yeah, I go a little bit back and forth just because I've seen an increase in the mental health, especially with the Black men. I work in healthcare, so I see an increase where they are actually going out and they're getting help. I don't know if it's because they're being pushed by their female partners or friends or whatever, but I do see a lot more going out and getting help. The piece that I do see missing though is that we're not coming around making mental health acceptable yet. Like, everyone has touched on the whole topic of, oh, everybody's being clowned. We are still clowning men. We are still telling men that they're soft. We are still telling men something is wrong with them if they're crying. We are still telling men that they're not as manly or as adequate if they need to go and sit on someone else's couch and discuss these issues. But and the flip side of that is when these men have no head or popping a gun off, then we want to get on them for that. So I see both sides. Raising a son, there was a comment and said, how do we bring our kids in the conversation? I sit him down and I ask him how he feels. How does this make you feel? If they're listening to a song, they have to explain to me what that song means. If they can't give me a clear definition or an explanation of that song, they can't listen to it. And if when they're singing that song and it's completely something they shouldn't be singing, I make him stop. And then you got to go look this up. And this is what this song means. And normally he's like, oh, okay. Or, my daughter's like, yeah, that's not something that I should be listening to. I don't know how we're going to get that fixed. I'm not putting the blame on women, Black women especially, because we showed it so much. I don't think we need to be therapists to everybody, but I do think some of our dialogue.
Therapists to everybody because it starts with us. Like there's single mothers, and we raising the generation.
I'm a single mom.
I'm a little different because I hold us accountable for a lot of things, and I know. It's just because I feel like we have so much power. And if we
do. But at the end of the day, if we are, if we're trying to be the therapist to everybody, we're taking on a whole lot more. And then we're continuing to break us down. I can't pour. If I'm empty and I'm all cracked up, I can't fix that other cup. I can't pour nothing into that cup because I done poured out everywhere else. So at some point, I got to stop and I got to save me.
That's where we're supposed to lean on each other. That's why we each other. So,
but it's cyclical. Nobody's doing that,
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta get back.
That's why I said I feel like us as women, we hold so much power, and I feel like we are responsible for everything because we do we're holding the cards in our hand. So basically, when lionesses we go capture the food, or if we starve ourselves, then we can't take care of our family. The kids don't eat, right? So in our lion's den, lionesses go and provide the food. They provide everything. And that's how I look at myself. Like, I'm a lioness. I'm going to take care of my family. But I have to have my surrounding too to take care of me, so I can get my sanity back.
But my question about balance,
everybody else.
Can we have balance on it though? Because on one hand, I agree with both of you, right? Because on one hand, I'm like, Black women got enough on our plate. Like, not for nothing, we do a lot. And I've spoken about that previously, right? But there needs to be a point where we set the boundary for ourselves and stop and say, okay, I need, and there need to be people who are there willing to give us when we say, wait, I need, and I also think, with us being the backbone of the community, you can't argue that we don't have like a lot of power and a lot of sway when it comes to these things. You know what I mean? So it's all about being balanced. Like, there are times where, I'm the problem solver. Like, I'm the mother hen. Everybody comes to me, and there's times I don't answer my phone. I'm tired. You know what I mean? So there has, and I set that boundary for myself. So there has to be balance.
I suffered with mental health issues for years. I was that Black mom that said, these are my 3 kids. Their father is deceased. So everything that happens to them, I have to curb. I have to carve out that river. I got to make sure that they're flowing in the right direction. I was going 16 hours a day, sleeping 6. I didn't know where the other 2 was at until I broke. And I broke. And at the point that I broke, if I didn't have somebody around me saying, okay, look, I'm going to step in and I'm going to take care of my nieces and nephews, or I'm going to help my grandkids, I don't know where my kids would be. That's why I said Black women, we are the backbone, but we got to stop and take care of ourselves. We got to stop pacifying these people. And I'm going to say people because we got some Black female rappers that are out here doing some of the same stuff. If we're going to be the backbone, then we got to have one accord and say, look, we're not accepting it. Put on your clothes. Stop laying with that woman's husband. Stop patting your son, drying his face, and then telling your daughter she got to get out. We got to get back to some of this other stuff and let some of this new stuff go. And then I think that'll solve some of the problems. I mean, I'm 40, but I was raised by an older mama. She didn't play all that. We didn't get to do that. Right. What she said went. And she was our backbone. I did, my dad was there in and out, but what?
No, I wasn't dismissing that we don't set boundaries, but that's what I was saying, that we do hold the power in order to set the boundaries and set the stage and basically delegate. We're delegating and telling people that, telling our children, telling our men that it's okay when we get in those situations, whenever they do feel like they're about to crash. We are strong enough to hold it together so that they can crash and we can lift them back up, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, we don't set the boundary of when and, why they can do that. But it's like, to me, it's our job. Like, that's what we're supposed to do. He didn't put, God didn't put, make us weak. He didn't put us in this role to fold. I feel like we should be playing our position the way we're supposed to.
And I do agree with what everyone has said, but me having a son who is now 18, that was a totally different human. I'll just say that, for a really long time, being a Black man. And he was going in one direction, and then he met a new group of friends, and he went somewhere totally left, to where I felt like, almost like I didn't know was. I feel like the young people today are battling things that we didn't battle as adolescents and teenagers, meaning social media. The music was bad, but I feel like we didn't take it as literally, because yes, there's music that's horrible today. There was the NWA and Lil Kim and all that growing up, but I didn't see it being reflected out there in the open like I do now. You know what I'm saying? But you also didn't hear the really bad songs of Lil Kim on the radio then, but now you get it all now. That was actually another topic that we were going to discuss. I think that's a really good segue for that. The negative effects of music, right now. One of you just said, and I was kind of laughing, quit sleeping with that woman's husband and get up and, and things like that. That is so celebrated in music today, though. And when you first hear this music, or maybe I'm gonna speak for myself, I hear this music and I'm like, that's a shame. I can't believe we're sitting up here singing about and bopping to, me being the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then next thing you know, a couple weeks later, I find myself bopping and dancing and singing because it's catchy. Although I know I would never respect that. I don't think any of us should respect that. And then getting onto my teenage daughter, when WAP comes on and she gets the bopping, and I look like, what's going on here? And then having to have a conversation about respecting yourself and making sure others respect you. But I really think that's where a lot of things are going with that negative effects on music, where women feel like they have to be that person to get attention, to where they have to be that loose, I'm gonna call her a loose booty chick, to get the attention of some guy that they want, or a guy feeling like he needs to be hard and exude all this toxic masculinity in order to get, to achieve whatever goal he has, or to fit in, or to, to be seen as a person and be cool, quote unquote cool. And that's just how I feel. I feel like that's when we have to have conversations, as far as parents, as far as making sure the girls know to respect themselves, even though they hear WAP and that's a popular song, and you hear this thing about, being able to sleep with somebody's husband Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can have him back on Monday. You know what I'm saying? I just think that goes into what we instill, like in our teenage girls and boys and things like that. But I will tell you, from having teenagers, when they're not with you, they still at times be a totally different person. It's so controlling.
I think you and I are closer in age than the other two ladies, and I think they're younger. And what I've noticed is that my daughter is 20, and she gets respect and empowerment. She's getting those two words intertwined. This generation is saying anything that you want to do, you have the right to do, and that's empowerment. I believe you have the right to do it, but some stuff is still degrading, and we're not teaching our young ladies to hold themselves as young ladies. And I found myself, just like you, dancing to some of the songs, and then I heard my 13-year-old singing them, and I'm like, wait a minute.
And then it's like,
I can remember. Do you remember that song by Betty Wright? Girl, I remember getting popped all upside the head behind a Betty Wright song. Now Betty Wright come on, and she might as well be gospel.
So can I say I love that you brought that up, because the subject matter is really nothing new. I think like it's not anything new. Like I'm on my iPad and I'm like looking up. I mean, Billy Paul, me and Mrs. Jones, Betty Wright, Clean Up Woman, Woman to Woman, all that stuff, right? And yes, and talking about, you know, in my love and waters coming down and all. Listen, it's not nothing new under the sun.
Millie Jackson. Don't forget Millie Jackson.
Okay, hello.
Nasty.
Okay, they were nasty. They were nasty. Maybe it wasn't like a wop, like it wasn't the actual right. Hello, maybe it's not. Maybe it wasn't the actual word, but they was nasty. I mean, how y'all think we got here? Come on, let's not play.
It wasn't overt. That's my issue.
But it was
now some
overt.
of them was overt, but what the difference is, my mama and them, when they were playing the overt music, they was in another room.
You say Candy,
but if they was in another room, why do I know all these songs? Why do I know
because
all
we
these
were sitting
songs?
at the door listening. Because we were sitting at the door.
Yes, you was. They was playing it on. They was playing on Kiss FM 98.7 in New York City, honey. They was playing on 107.5 WBLS.
We were listening to it and talking to it ourselves when they weren't around. That's what it was.
Okay, yeah. Hello. It was being played in the car. I remember sitting in the car and I was sitting in the back seat. So this is how young I was. I was sitting in the back seat and my mom was sitting in the front seat. And I have a very clear memory of me and Mrs. Jones playing when I first figured out what it was about. Right. So I don't think it's anything new.
That's my last name. I remember that. And I was singing with
it. Right. So that's yes. Like so I don't know. I mean, it's the culture.
I got a question.
Yes.
Okay, Courtney and Ruth.
Yes, ma'am.
So
yes.
With the songs, you know, we brought up how we had the same the message ain't changed or whatever. Are y'all okay with your daughters singing these songs? Do you feel like, oh, okay, she'll grow out of this? I have enough influence that I can curb her and my sons. I can curb the influence of these lyrics. Or do you feel like these lyrics are really taking root and taking hold?
I don't think it's the responsibility of the artist or the musician to not make music that they want to make because it's going to influence children, right? So to answer your question, like I grew up hearing all these songs, all this music. I was around during Bump and Grind, and I was around during all that stuff, and I was like, oh my God, this is stuff that grown-ups do, because that is what my parents taught me. Like, that's the stuff that grown-ups do. So when I'm a grown-up, I'll do that. Now, what I will say is, just in general, in media, I think there is a gross sexualization of children and young people in media in general. So I'm not going to blame just the music. I think it's social media. I mean, as a makeup artist, I can even tell you the trend for makeup has changed. There used to be regional makeup, like international makeup styles. Like if I look at it, I can say, oh, that person is from India, or that person's from Sri Lanka, that person's from West Africa. It's all different. Now it's literally all the same. It is all the same with like little tweaks here and there because of social media. And it's literally all Kim Kardashian / Kylie Jenner's face. Like that is what the style of makeup is designed to do today. And looking at them and how their career started and the influence that they have, I think you can draw a direct link between that and the sexualization of kids and teenagers in society today.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It is not the artist's responsibility to basically like filter them, to censor themselves, to filter themselves. I would say filter because I'm an artist, and I don't like when I have to censor myself. I'm going to do exactly what I want. You can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it. So I'm not going to hold the artist responsible for what my kids are listening to. First of all, they're catering to an adult audience. If you are letting your children listen to them, then that's your own dang fault. Not the artist's fault. They have no control over the ears that are hearing this. That's you as a parent. I'm not going to get mad because I'm not going to get mad at the artist. So when we're talking about does music influence a culture? Yes, it does. It does influence, but it's our job to make sure that they understand if you're going to let them listen to it, what they're listening to.
Mm-hmm.
So, like when I was a kid, my mom actually, so I didn't listen. I wasn't allowed to listen to rap and all the vulgar.
Me neither.
It was funny because when I went to grandma's and in the midst of my mom playing R&B and soul and funk, you listen to those lyrics and it's just as bad. Like I got to use my imagination, so I'm figuring it out. I'm smart. So I can just imagine when these words are put out and it's blatant, it's not leaving nothing to the imagination. They're physically saying it. So there's really no difference. That's on you. That's on you as the parent to make sure that there is an understanding. No, my kids are not going to be running around my house talking about why. No, they going to bleep out the words. They going to make sure that I don't hear it. And they also have an understanding that, hey, as a young lady, these are my expectations in social relationships and dynamics. I'm still traditional in a way. I feel like I'm kind of old school. Like whenever your friends come over my house, first of all, I need your parents' number. I need to know who you are, what time you going home. Do they know where you're at? You better speak when you walk in my door. We're not going to be closing no doors in my house. And you better watch what you're watching on TV or what music you listening to, because I will get up and turn that mess off. So yeah, it's not the artist's responsibility to take care of my kids, to parent my kids. I'm going to parent my own kids.
Okay.
She said she opening doors.
Yeah,
I've had the door open.
No locked doors. No.
I'm so different. I do closed doors because I couldn't stand that open door thing. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, that my kids could have some privacy. Now I do one little tap open. I'm not real good about waiting till you tell me to come in, because I will just walk right on in there. But I don't know. I've never been one. We all keep doors closed. But y'all, I want to go to a much lighter topic. We're going to talk about manscaping and how we feel about manscaping. Do we think that the man should be doing this? Is this a requirement?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is a requirement.
Yes.
From head to toe. A complete requirement. Head to toe.
So
something need to be done with all of that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna be the odd man out and say that I like body hair. I love it. I love it.
Now I like somebody hair. But don't come with the hamburger. No, I don't want the hamburger right here.
No,
don't look like tacos.
You can't be walking around looking like a Sasquatch now. You gotta do
because I'm gonna go get some perm while you sleep. Or that wax something, sugar something, you gonna wake up, you gonna be but no.
But I just find that unattractive anyway, as far as the body hair, you know, the back and the chest, and that's just weird. But as far as like the manscaping, I don't care. That doesn't bother me. And maybe I'm telling too much of my business, but I don't venture into that area. So I could care less about what's happening.
What you mean?
I'm weird off that.
I don't get it.
You don't get it?
You say you don't venture into that area?
Like to where I'm getting a close-up of it.
I'm married, so
this talk real good.
Look, I listen to every word.
What PG are we doing on this?
I know, right? I'm like, what's the rating here before I like really?
Like, I try to keep it PG. I don't really, you know what I'm saying?
That's how I've been married almost 10 years. I got it all in that area.
I guess as far as the cleanliness part, then yes. You know, for the cleanliness, then I can see that needing to be done. But as far as like just for the visual or whatever, I don't.
So I mean, for me, it's a treat if it's done, but if it's not, I don't care. Like It's like, oh, okay. Oh, you got a little smiley face down there. Oh, that's cute. Like, y'all ever seen 40-Year-Old Virgin? The smiley face when they were waxing. Like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Whatever.
We ain't gotta go that far. But
yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
But-
Yes, we do. No,
now we can do some waxing, but we ain't doing no smiley faces because I'm gonna have some questions.
Yeah, no, not the smiley face, but I like the hair because it holds the pheromones, and like I find that hairy men smell more manly to me, but not in a stinky way. Like you still gotta smell wet, smell good, and like smell clean, but like the hair holds the pheromones. I'm like, ooh, oh my goodness! Like when I hug you, if you're hairy and I hug you and I can like smell the man, I'm like, you got me. You know what I mean? So I like hairy men.
Are men actually like the waxing it though? We're not just like shaving it.
So no dude really actually waxes. Like, okay, so
No.
it hurts for them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Deeper follicles. Yeah.
so not a lot of men will do that. So I don't think it's necessarily a requirement for waxing. Like that's not. But if they like trim, take the little edges and
Yeah.
Oh, I have to say this though. If there are guys watching, please don't use your edgers that you use down there on your face.
On your face, please.
That's nasty. Pay attention.
Do we really have to say that?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Look, beauty professionals here
No,
like
they
yes.
don't. There's no way they go from the head to the
No,
back.
Kendrick.
I had to buy 2 separate ones
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't even know. Yeah,
That must be just a man thing. They don't care.
they don't care.
They don't care, yeah.
Take some alcohol or something to it.
Kendrick said, "Is the '70s Afro fine?"
I'm
fine with it.
mistaken. And I said no.
I'm fine with it.
We all collectively said no together. No.
What happened?
Kendrick said, "Can he have an afro down there?" No.
No.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
I mean, not a rounded one, but like if you got like
Are you gonna trim it up and turn it into a little tree?
like the little Edward Scissorhands trees.
Mm-mm. That's too much going on. You don't know what critters are living down there.
That's too much. Yeah, no.
Like raccoons hiding. That's too much. You at least gotta keep it low just for the cleanliness.
The trapezoid, the upside down trapezoid.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, just trim it up just a little bit.
Just trim it. Yeah, just make it all flat and even. Just trim it. Because if I can go down there and I can braid it, it ain't gonna happen.
No.
She
No.
said,
And buy some new ones,
Not braid
Kendrick.
it.
Yeah. I know. Look, y'all see how long
I'm
my nails are?
screaming.
No, look, that's why I asked what is the rating. You see how long my nails? If I rub and then down, they got to go through real smooth. If it's all kinked, that's not gonna work for me. No.
He gonna put a acrylic kit on it so it'll be nice and pretty.
Little S curl, little finger wave.
Get a acrylic kit so it can be nice and smooth. So,
I swear I dated a guy, he shaved under his arms. The first time we slept together, I rolled over after we had sex. I rolled over and I was like waiting, how Courtney's talking about that manly, that fluffiness, and I kept
looking for it.
and I had to say, sir, if I'd have saw that before, they may not have made it.
So wait a second.
Girl, it was gone.
Wait. He has to shave off the underarm hair, or he can't shave off the underarm hair, but he gotta shave off everything else. That's backwards.
see, I don't care about the hair. They can stay.
Look. Let me we all grown.
Yes.
We're all grown, so let me tell you why.
Okay, tell me. I'm ready.
I do stuff in other areas that I don't do under your arm. So
Okay.
Some stuff needs to be. Thank you, Rue. Go on and laugh. I don't care. I'm not Devin. I love Devin, but I'm not Devin. So
She ventures into that area.
See, I don't even go to that part of town.
Devin be like,
I don't go to that part of town.
where?
So like that whole
cleaning and alcoholing and all that. And I've killed the mood. So let's just.
She's like, let's not even.
Yeah.
Whatever. I missed who it was. Okay, Wade. He said men do wax better than trim. The reason why I said that is because when you try to go get professionally waxed for men, there's a lot of establishments that don't do it. So instead of going to find someone that actually waxes, they usually just do it at home, which a lot of guys are not going to buy wax in the store. So that's why I said that men are more likely going to use some edgers and trim it up versus wax. You may be a part of the small group that actually does wax. And congratulations, because I like a slip and slide.
Yes! I can't.
I'm glad we passed our 15-minute mark because I ain't finna get no emails from our producers. It wasn't me, y'all. I didn't start talking to minute 40. It wasn't me.
I'm not taking ownership for that either. I'm not taking ownership. Okay, y'all. So now that we're talking about venturing into that area, let's see about some other areas we can venture into. How do y'all feel about interracial dating outside our race? A little cream in the coffee. Where y'all at with that?
Over there doing the
I'm interracial dating. I'm Japanese and Italian and all the angry people mixed up together.
All the angry people.
Oh, that explains it.
Oh. I can't.
I love Rue. I promise you, I do. I was me and Rue done had a whole conversation without y'all.
I said
I'm offended now. Hold on now. Wait a minute.
Without y'all.
You ain't talking
in a pandemic.
I'm gonna need you to create a 3-way or 4-way or something on these phone calls now.
Right.
You know how I feel about that.
No, I'm out here in the trenches in the pandemic by myself, and here y'all come to me. Oh yeah, we was talking. We had tea and crackers.
Yeah, I'm on the front lines every day. I'm on the front lines every day fighting this pandemic. Y'all can't give us a call. Check on me.
I'll fly wherever. I come see you.
Now I have more issues dating short men than I do white, green, purple, whatever. I mean, if he's a man, he got a heartbeat, he's fine. But I'm 6'2".
Oh, that makes
I don't know. I don't care what color you are. Now, when I get married, I want to marry a black man. You want to be me?
Yeah, you say you 6 foot?
I am 6'2" barefoot.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Leprechaun, give me your height.
Yes, model of the world.
I will run. If you a midget, I will run from you. I am definitely scared of midgets. I will leave you wherever you are.
You say you run.
She said she's running from the midgets. I can't. Interracial dating. So I've had to go through like a metamorphosis with this, right? Because at first, I was like, I can only date black men. I am only available to black men. I will not even look in another man's direction. Never. Like, oh, I am a good black woman. I'm a good black girl. So I don't, right? But then as time went on, I was like, wait a second. But everybody else, like, they all dating outside. They all dating everybody else. And I gotta open my horizons. I gotta expand my horizons, right? So have I done it yet? No. Am I open to it? Yes. Because I'm just like, there's like 7 billion people in the world, and black people are 13% in the United States anyway. We're 13% of the population. Like, I want to broaden my horizons and open up the odds for myself. You know?
Okay. Well, full transparency. My current relationship is with a Caucasian fella. He's all the way white.
All the way.
Not halfway.
All the way.
All the way. And I've never had like a preference, but and that was kind of my thing. So it's similar to you, Courtney. I've always dated like multiple races. and I end up where I end up. You see what
Right.
I have a I'm a lot, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. So if I could find a man that's willing to put up with me and, deal with all my quirks and, my failure to venture in certain areas and still love, the nooks and crannies of me and my children, that's all I want. I just want to meet someone, be with someone that will love and respect me, and my
Yes.
children, and treat me the way that I would want my children to be treated, my daughters to be treated. Then I'm good. Um, and in dating black men, just they just didn't work out for whatever reason. And a lot of people like to say that everyone's different. A white man is this way, a black man is this way, and there's trash in every race.
Mm,
I have dated trash that was white, trash that was black. I think that you don't I don't think that women should venture outside of their race if they're not attracted to
the
men
person.
of their race,
Right.
because what I'm saying, because he is going to want you to love and respect him and see him the same way he sees you. So I tell friends who always say things to me about, I should try, dating outside my race. Then maybe I say, if you're not attracted to men outside your race, you definitely shouldn't venture
Mm-hmm.
outside of your race. But if you're like someone like myself who's attracted to all races, then why not? People are going to judge you regardless,
Okay.
and other people don't affect what goes on in my life and my household, and you know what I'm saying. And if you don't put on my electric bill, I don't really care what you think about me. So
Right.
everyone should do
So,
what makes you happy. And
so
you're saying, are you bothered when you see a successful black man with a white woman or some exotica? Depends on the black man. And I'm in a relationship with a white man, and I'm gonna tell you that sometimes I get in my feelings about seeing a successful black man with a white woman, depending on who he is. You know what I'm saying? And the circumstances around it. If I knew that all of his life, all he was attracted to black women, and he had a good black woman and everything seemed fine and dandy. But as soon as he come up, now all of a sudden you're no longer, are you really no longer attracted to black women, or were you never attracted to black women, or do you see they
so
outside this as a come up?
I
I
don't
don't,
think
I don't
I
understand.
personally am like, first of all, if that's your twist, that's your twist. That's none of my business. But the issue that I have is whenever somebody dates, let me not say whenever, but many times when they are asked about that, it's always a negative comment. I date outside my race because negative comment about black women. As long as you keep us out of it, I don't care. You can date whomever you would like. And I'm not your twist because I'm super black. Ain't no mistaken. I'm unambiguously black. Okay. So if white women or non-black women are your thing, I am not the one for you, Pooh. And go be with God. God bless you, because I'm not the one. You know what I mean? But as long as you are leaving the negative comments out about black women, you can do whatever you like. Somebody else said something because I wanted to address it. I feel like she said it so plain. She was like, I just need to date interracial because black men are X. And I think it's a cultural thing. Yes, black excellence. Yeah, I think it's a cultural thing. And I think that, again, going back to the systems that are surrounding us and the systems that we live in, it is really hard to maintain, create, and develop a relationship with somebody, a healthy relationship when both of you are, again, crabs in a barrel, but crabs not supposed to be in a barrel, and trying to fight against those systems.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's all I got for that.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing. As long as you're not bad mouthing another race, or I really don't care who you like. I've pretty much tasted all the rainbow, so I don't discriminate.
She went there. She ventured there.
Lucretia, you are super quiet.
I did notice though when I was dating that it wasn't I when I did try to date, I guess when I did try to date white men, I tried to date one with an accent, like I guess from London, and I couldn't. I felt a certain type of way, and I didn't like that. But you give me a Southern boy for some reason, he was sexy as hell to me. So I don't know if it's necessarily maybe the race. It may have been just the accent.
Cultural. I don't know. Southern white men trigger my lizard brain and like fight or flight response. Like I'm like, oh, Southern white guy, oh, get away, like scary. You know what I mean? And
opposite for me.
yes. And again, like I'm not down there, but I'm like, I hear a Southern white guy, and I'm like, yeah, like what are your politics? Like, what are you?
I'm from the South, so it's a little different. I hear that accent. I don't care if you black, white, Mexican, Asian, and you got a Southern accent. I don't.
But I like Southern accents, just not white men with Southern accents. They scary. I might be able to get over the hump, but they scare me a little bit. That's all.
No,
well, I wasn't commenting because I was waiting on those two, who are obviously younger than you and I, Devin, to finish their comment about interracial dating and dating a man, a successful man. I remember when it was the in thing to do to get you a good job, 6-figure job, and date that and dump that black woman that's been there with you while you were struggling to get to that job, and then go get you a white lady. So I feel that negative tense around that whole situation that Devin does. I don't have a problem with them dating, but when you put us down to go get one, then that triggers something that I had to fight all my life. And then being in these classes, going to high school, going to college, and even working with these white women, I'm the only black woman at my job that have these black men. They treat them like trophy men. Oh, I have this. I got this on my arm, and this was originally made and designed for you, but I got one. It gives the white women in my age range, I'm gonna put it like that, who grew up at the same time that black men were choosing them as trophies. It makes them feel like, oh, they're better than us.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but like I saw a post on some social media site a couple of weeks ago, and it was a white girl, and she had a black boyfriend, and I believe this comment that she made to be true. She was like, as a white woman, having a black man is not a trophy. Like, it's not a thing. You know what I mean? Like, in their culture.
But see, Courtney, that's an age thing. Right. Because y'all are in your 30s, and that's an age and a choice thing. Y'all, that's, your generation has decided to do that. But you talk to a woman 40 to 55, and that's how she's going to feel, because that was thrown in our faces every single day.
I mean, but like, so wait, hold on. I don't think you're that much older than me. Like, I'm 32. So I mean, 8 years, yes, but I had to reprogram my thinking behind that, because when I was younger, yes, that was like, oh my God, so taboo, like I'm hurt. But then as I mature, I had to realize that person is not, once I became secure in myself and like my values and like what the type of person that I want to be with, a black man who dates a white woman to spite black people and a white woman who dates a black man to spite white people are not the type of people that I really want to be associated with anyway.
Yeah,
like they could.
I agree. I had to grow out of all of that also, but it's still something that's still there and it's still present. And even though it's not as prevalent, with you 8 years younger than me, it's still there. Y'all don't see it as much. It's still there. And Rue, I'm glad that you have all them folks, because you're one of the positive examples of interracial dating. Because it'd be very boring if it was just all black, all white, all Italian. I'm glad for some of those.
So I understand the negativity when it comes to black and white dating, and then you have the other cultures, black with Asian and white, and it's like, so I grew up a hybrid, and I was always torn because I wasn't sure growing up if I was supposed to be with a black man, or because you got that one drop rule and colorism does exist. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to stay with a black man, or if it was okay because I'm mixed because I'm interracial, if I could date a white man or if I could date an Asian man. So I was just like, forget it. I'm on this. I'm just gonna figure it out. And my mom said, even at a young age, like I went to her and I told her, I was like, Mom, when I grow up, I'm gonna have 3 boyfriends. And she's like, 3 boyfriends? She's
Period.
a black one, a white one, and a other like me.
Okay. For all my personalities.
For all of it. For all of it.
So I get like whenever you're growing up and you're trying to figure it out and you're dating and you're not sure what you want to stay within your own culture. But you gotta think. Me looking growing up, I had to look at it like, well, I have all this culture. I have, the Asian side, Italian side, I have a black side, I have, it was preached, my black side was preached more to me than my Asian side, of course. But it was like, it was acceptable to love whoever you wanted to love. And I think as black women, we need to be preaching that it's okay to love who you want to love. I understand we want to keep the culture strong, but in about 10 years, all y'all gonna look like me anyway. So
They keep saying that, but I mean, where's dark skinned folks going? Like, no, like back to different.
Brittany,
I know.
really quickly. Brittany is saying, can a person be considered pro-black and date outside of their race? I'm going to address that because I'm who I am. I remind everybody in my life, when I wake up, I'm black. When I go to sleep, I'm black. When I walk outside my house, I'm black. Wherever I present myself, people see me as black. I am every day, all day. I would never be with someone who didn't love me, respect me, and wasn't also pro me. So I am a very pro-black human, will always be pro-black, no matter what, because at the end of the day, I'm saying the only thing guaranteeing your life is, staying my life is staying black in Texas. So that's what that is. I'm very pro-black, regardless to who I love. I don't think one thing, really has one thing to do with the other. I just don't.
I also think, well, we got a couple like a lot of comments on this one. Okay, well, for one, I also think that being pro-black, anybody can be pro-black. Like, if the question becomes, are you empathetic with my cause and with my outlook? That's the question, and that's become the question over time. Somebody was asking about a power dynamic. It could be. To be honest with you, I just think people are making it. People make their relationship what they want it to be. Like, everybody who's dating interracially, is not about a power dynamic. Because, like I said, for me personally, I just want to expand my horizons. So that means I need to date other people to find the person for me. Then I'm just going to do that. It's not about a power dynamic. Because let me tell you, baby, who with me, who has the power in the relationship is gonna be me. Period. So I you know what I mean? Like, power dynamic, whatever.
any relationship that you have should be a power dynamic.
Right.
I didn't really understand that question. Is it a power dynamic? You saying like to establish a power couple, like you're attributes from one culture and fusing it with other attributes. Like the white man got good credit, but we know that women, the black woman is strong enough and very outspoken. So you put them together, now you got power. Is that I'm not understanding the question. Is that where you're going with that?
I think they were asking. I think the reason they were asking because there's a stigma that it's a fetish, like dom and sub type of deal, like white man being dominated by a black woman or vice versa, black man trying to play out his power fantasy by being with a white woman who might be that type of relationship is very taboo. If we look at the historical implications of it, a black man could be killed just for, we know the story, just for whistling at a white woman. You could be killed. So I think that is the power dynamic that they're talking about. And frankly, I don't give a damn. Like, if that's your thing, girl, that's your thing. Because black people are not a monolith. And there's other things. There are relationship dynamics between Black people that I don't agree with, that I think are unhealthy. So what? I'm supposed to be worried about what you doing over there because your partner is white? Girl, bye. I got other things to do. Absolutely not.
Uh,
Facts.
I'm gonna
Absolutely
The
not.
only color I worry about is green and how much is in my bank
Okay.
account to pay all them bills. So as long as you and I can come together and make some green or some gold or some silver, we good.
Right?
Right.
Right? For real. For
okay.
real.
I was gonna answer the question. How do you identify yourself? I've always identified myself as Black, and I did not personally need to identify in that way or say that I'm Black really to people because they look at me and they're like, oh, you're
You're
Black.
Black.
Like,
Yeah.
so the only time that I had to actually like, remind people were actually against with my own people. And that's when I moved to Dallas. And they were like, oh, what are you mixed with? What are you? And it was like I was exotic in some kind of way and it irritated me. So I never, growing up in the country, growing up in Europe, because I lived overseas, my family's all military. I lived overseas. I never had to identify as Black. They already knew. But as soon as I got here in Dallas, everybody wanted to know what I was. So
Mm,
yeah, I didn't like that too much.
that's deep.
That's too deep. That's too deep.
Sorry you
Okay.
went through that.
I think we all agree that we are who we are. We are, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Date whoever loves you and who you love, and nobody should really care. And on another light note, y'all know it's open enrollment for insurance, right?
Oh,
I
That ain't
I
light.
just covered myself, and I don't know about y'all, but I feel like my insurance keeps going up every year, and I'm sick of it. It's but I am covered. I make sure I'm covered, and we need to be covered. How about y'all? Like, is everybody covered like we should be?
My work.
yes, ma'am.
I'm an HR and benefits manager.
Okay. She
Everybody
is
ain't
covered.
covered.
Ooh.
I'm covered. My family's covered. But a lot of people sign on their dotted line and they accept the same policy that they had from the year before and they're not covered. They don't have the same deductible. They don't have the
Mm,
same copays. They don't have the same HMOs. They don't have the same networks. They don't have the same benefits. They don't have the same claim period. They don't, and they don't know they don't have this stuff because they're not reading. And then they want to come and bring their issues to their friendly HR director like me.
Mhm.
And then they get their feelings hurt because I'm going to highlight, copy paste, and send in a nice little email. And it's going to start with, like I stated before. And then I'm going to copy and paste because I'm not doing it. I've been doing insurance for about 9, 10 years through several administrations. It changes every single year. There's
mm,
stuff going on behind the scenes, like the 2016 tax law. Didn't nobody know
Mhm.
about that because they titled it a tax law. Nobody knew how it was going to affect their insurance. Then we had all that. If you're not covered, you got to pay this fine. Half people weren't getting their 1095Bs in time to go file their taxes. And then you call in
mm.
and you mad about that. Go talk to these people. Open enrollment is anywhere from 3 weeks to 2 months. Go sit down. That's what they're there for. Set up an appointment and go sit there. How do I
Mm.
feel about Obamacare? I think Obamacare started out with a very good, the trajectory was good, but he had some gaps and some holes, and he didn't take the time to fill them correctly. And then they tried to push it through, and it left some folks in a better place, and it left some people hurt. I'm one of
Mhm.
those that benefited on both sides. I have 3 children. So for a family policy, I was able to cover my entire family. But I have a special needs son. And with Obamacare, when they started saying no denial, no coverage, it wasn't in any of the law books. So that's legally how they got around it. Your quote or your paper would come back and say, we refuse to quote you. So you had to go buy another insurance policy that was 3 times higher than what you were already paying. So it was a lot of stuff that was going on. my premium $700, and then my son was on Medicaid because of his disability. Well, when Obamacare went into effect, my premium jumped from $700 to $1,700 a month that came out of my check, and I could either say no, I didn't want it, and pay that fine, or take exactly. And I'm a single mom with 3 babies, so I
Wow.
had to take that
Oh,
insurance. So I'm real
wow.
iffy on insurance. I'm and I do it for a living. So
Yes.
and then now
Wow.
everyone is, oh, we're turning gonna be a socialist country because Biden is in office and this and that. There are some parts of a socialist healthcare system that's good, and then some parts that's bad. But if you read what we give you and read it, take 1 day a week. That's my suggestion. 1 day a week.
Mm.
Sit down for an hour. Read through it. All the stuff that's in parentheses, highlight that, scratch it out. Put a black marker straight through it, and then just read the English. Don't read the insurance language, just read the English. And it's going to tell you exactly what you're getting. It's going to tell you if you're getting an 80/20 policy, a 70/30, if you have a day one, if you got a dollar one, an HDHP, all of that stuff is going to fall into place. If you don't read it, you don't know. And then you paying $900 a month for stuff that you're not even going to use.
Mhm. I know
Just
we're
do your
fortunate at
homework
my
out.
job. There's an 800 number that you can call, and they'll kind of walk you through because there were some things that were really confusing, like to me, as far as the open enrollment, and because I noticed the prices changed and my 401k, I had questions, and so I'm hoping that a lot of companies also have that for people like myself who are confused and don't understand it, and I didn't know I could hit you up, Lucretia, and ask you questions because I sure would have. So I didn't know that. So I'm hoping that in other companies they also have that where
Here's
they have
another thing.
ask questions.
When administration changes, when the administration changes and it's open enrollment, watch out. That year that, okay, so 2021, our administration is changing, but you're filling out papers now. So you're kind of sort of safe on, you're not going to see too big of a hike. But next
Mhm.
year, when you go into open enrollment, y'all are going to see, we're already seeing trends for 18 to 42%. And that means your policy can go from
Wow.
$1,000 a month to then go double. Yes.
Oh my
And
God.
you're in New York, honey. COVID,
Woo.
we write new law, we write new policy every day behind COVID. What country gonna let us
Yes.
in? What country saying we can't come in? What is gonna be covered for COVID? And then everybody's like, oh, I have COVID, I have COVID. Nobody's thinking about a year from now, the residual effects of COVID. Devin, you're a nurse. We see people that come in who've had this rash for 4 months that they
Mm.
got because of COVID.
Mhm.
We gotta treat that. How do you code that? Is your insurance gonna cover that? Even though it says no pre-existing conditions, they can still give you that line, we refuse to quote you. Now you butt out.
Wow.
Y'all have to read these papers. And then this is a touchy subject. A lot of people don't want to talk about the whole transgender thing. You you better read y'all insurance that y'all are giving, that you're getting something. Because if you don't, you're going to be bamboozled. And then in the end, you're going to look at the end of the year, say you pay $1,000 premium a month. That's $12,000 that you've given to an insurance company, and you've only maybe gotten $1,000 worth of benefits out of that.
Oh
You
wow.
don't have to repeal and replace, but you need to be educated about it, because as employees, you hold the power. I can go through the insurance and I can say, this is what I'm offering you. But right now, most insurance companies and brokers are only accepting an 80% acceptance rate. So if you band with them other employees and you get 60% of them people to say, we don't like this policy, guess what? That person that's sitting at my desk got to go back and find policies that majority of y'all are going to like. And if y'all
Mm.
have children, and you're not getting the benefit of that child tax credit, she got to find you one of those. If you have spouses that have school teacher insurance, she has to find you a policy that meshes with that. If you're military and you have TRICARE, she has to find you a policy that meshes with that. It's not just regular open enrollment, it's open enrollment for Medicare and the elderly as well. Go home and talk to your parents. Read through this stuff, because they're taking advantage of these older people too. These meta gaps and these meta plans, read that. Ain't nobody telling these people that if you
Definitely.
leave your job and you don't have Medicare within 63 days, we are going to fine you. and this fine don't go away. If you have insurance and you don't, I mean, if you don't have insurance for 63 days, on 60 day 64, when we find out that you don't have a credible prescription plan, we fine you. That fine does not go away. Some of our parents and grandparents are only getting $800 a month. They're taking 161 right off the bat. Now you tax on the fine anywhere from 1 to 20% of 161. That could be another $1. That could be another $50 out of our grandparents and our parents' budget. We gotta read. As a people, as employees, you gotta read, because if you don't know these benefits, we are going to continue to be taken advantage of. Right now, I'm so in love with TRICARE. Rule, you military, my TRICARE people, I don't have a single issue with them. Bill Black better. No, this isn't all under Obamacare. This is just different policies. I named a few. I said the 80-20. 80-20 is where you pay 80% of your deductible. Your company or the insurance company pays 20% until you hit your deductible, and then you're fully covered. Sometimes you have a 70-30 where you pay 70, they pay 30. Then you also have these things called out of pocket. You hit your deductible, but then they tack on this other little portion where they want you to pay a little bit more money. And if you're not reading that, you don't know. And it just like statistics, it's all written in insurance language. You have to unpack these packets that we're giving you. Literally. Highlight what you don't know, put it in an email, and send it to your HR. If she get mad, that's her fault. That is what she's being paid for. Yep. If you don't like it, change it. And I'm so passionate about it because this year and last year I saw so many people ripped off money, like thousands and thousands of dollars, because they did not read a packet that I handed them. I put in their hand and said, please go home and read this. Take 1 day a week, read 5 pages, email me on pages 1 through 5. Out of 360 employees, I probably got 19, maybe 20 emails. Then as the year started to progress, nobody was collecting money from their HRAs. Nobody was using their FSA. December 31st, all that money is gone. I can't claim that back.
Okay.
No, Mr. Lewin, I don't. I think you need to leave your 401k alone. If you have a job that offers an HSA or an HRA, especially if they're matching it, then that's what you need to get in. Leave that 401k for when you're old and you're ready to retire. Get you an HRA or an HSA, especially if you have a plan with a high deductible, high premium. That's the best route to go. It's going to seem expensive at first because everything is going to be at 100%, but you're going to clear that deductible within 4 or 5 months, and then you have 6 or 7 months of no co-pays, no co-insurance. Everything that is listed in your certificate is covered at 100%.
That was really, really, really good info.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for that.
That was amazing.
Very helpful. So now I'm gonna have to get off of here and go call my mama, child, and tell her.
Right.
Tell her, do you know what you're doing? I told you. Mm-hmm. I think we all should.
Yes.
Well, ladies, we've given them more for the bang. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all have any final thoughts? I just want to say that I think we hit some really important topics. I really appreciate that info you gave us as far as like the insurance, and I'm glad we got that today so that we can make sure we're handling this before the end of the year. And I really appreciate you doing that. I think we should definitely follow up on that. You ladies have any final thoughts?
Well, the nasty music is not new. Crabs don't belong in a barrel. And mind the business that pays you.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Wonderful. Our perfect advice. Perfect advice. Nope. Anything else, ladies? We good? We good? Okay, well, thank all of you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Until next time, we'll see you in a week. Bye.